Hey guys, what's up? It looks like I'm doing another collection video, and it's May, so I guess I'll call this the May video. I don't know. First up, I guess I'll do the Dreamcast. First, I got Mr. Driller. This is a weird, it's kind of like a Tetris, just when you drill into the ground. It's a different concept, but I've never really been a fan of any kind of Tetris game, so for me, it's alright. So you might like it. D2. This is like this has a ton of genres like combined into one. It's mostly storytelling. You can hunt animals for food, and when you get into a fight, you shoot like in a first-person shooter, and you level up. It's mostly a survival horror, but it's got a lot of things going on. It's 4 discs, mostly because there's a lot of talking. I mean, each disc only takes you about an hour, sometimes even less. It's alright, but the story's pretty boring, I'll be honest. Prince of Persia, Arabian Nights. You know, I wanted this game for a while, but when I got it, I just have not played it yet. I played it for about 5 minutes to make sure the disc worked, and it seemed alright. Not as good as the Sands of Time trilogy, but still, it seemed pretty good, so I'll have to check this out a bit more than just 5 minutes. King of Fighters 99. You know, I just can't fight. Like, every King of Fighters game I've ever played, I cannot get into. And this one's no exception. I don't know why. But, I suppose it's not bad, but... King of Fighters Evolution. This is actually one of the King of Fighters I actually like. I don't know why I like it, but there's something about this one that actually got me. I don't know. It was pretty good. From what I know, this one wasn't liked by much, but I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong. I like that one. Flogan Brothers or something like that. I only bought this because long ago I was reading it in a Game Informer, and even then I thought it looked horrible, but for some reason I always wanted to play it. I don't know why, but bought it and it was pretty terrible, but I kind of expected that. I just wanted to own it. I don't know why. I still don't know why. Techromancer. I did not like this game like at all. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. It's like it reminds me of like Godzilla versus someone. Like the battles are just kind of terrible. It's a 3D fighter, which I think you would only like it if you were like a big ass fan of like robot fighters, and even then. Illbleed. You know, a lot of people hate this game to death, but I actually like really love this game. Like I was surprised by how much I loved it. Like when I first played it, I did not like it either. But I kept playing and playing. It's like, oh my god, this game is fucking great. But I guess people didn't like it because they thought it was going to be like a Resident Evil, and it really wasn't. It was actually quite opposite. It was about disarming traps, and some of those traps were fucking hilarious when they went off. Like, I even laugh now. Like, it's funny, just... It's not for everyone, but I'd give it a shot. The Last Blade 2. Didn't really enjoy it much. With Fighter, it's either I like it or I hate it, and I probably won't ever play it again. It kind of reminded me of a slow Guilty Gear. Seventh Cross Evolution? I think that's what it's called. Haven't played it, but I heard it's god-awful, so... Probably not the best game. Resident Evil 3? I have 2 of them because I got one for a good price, so... Fuck it, pick it up for $1. Resident Evil 3, it's basically the same exact thing as on PlayStation, but now it's on the Dreamcast. It's alright. Last Hope. This game was actually released, I think a little bit over a year ago, so this is kind of new. And just for that, it's kind of cool, but as an actual game, it's a shooter, but it is just too unforgiving to really have any fun. Think of R-Type, just only it's tough, like harder than nails. I mean, when they shoot, they aim right for you. There's like nothing you can do about it. It's a bit too much. It's just so hard, you can't really have fun playing it. Trigger Heart, this is kind of like the opposite of Last Hope. It's pretty damn easy. Like, I think when I first played it, I only lost, like, it took me, like, 3 continues. That ain't too hard for a shooter, but I actually, like, really enjoyed it, but that could be because it's easier. If you want to play this, though, I'd get it on the Xbox 360's arcade. Basically, because they'll save you about $60. But I'm a hardcore Dreamcast fan, so had to own it. Alright, next up, I guess I'll do the Saturn. Contra Legacy of War. It just isn't a 2D game. They put it into 3D, and I figured I'd give it a shot, see if it was any good. Didn't really like it. My friend said I should probably try it again. Will I? Probably not. Die Hard Arcade. This surprised me. This was actually a pretty good beat 'em up. Like, I didn't think it would be, especially because, you know, it's based off a movie, but then again, back in this time, movie games were sometimes good, so. If you like beat 'em ups, this one's actually pretty good to check out. Galactic Attack. This is another game that surprised me. It's a very cheap shoot 'em up, and I was very impressed with it. It was very fun. I haven't beaten it yet, but I got a good. I think I got like near the end. It's got this gimmick where it's 2 layers. You got the front layer where you normally are, you know, blasting the hell everything. And then there's another layer where you can shoot missiles at, you know. It's pretty good. I'd check it out. I mean, it's only going to cost you like $5, $7 with shipping, so. In the Hunt. This is basically Metal Slug with submarines. My only problem, though, is it's a bit slow. And also, it has a lot of slowdowns, like when you blast shit and there's a huge explosion, which make it even slower. That's my only problem. If it wasn't for that, this game would be pretty damn good. But it'll just have to be good. Not damn good. Mr. Bones. Now, this is a funny game here. Because when I first played it, it's like, my god, this game's actually pretty good. It's 2 discs. I mean, the first disc was like, wow, it was really good in my opinion. As soon as I pop in disc 2, Jesus Christ, this game's too fucking hard! Really, this game, it is hard as hell when you hit disc 2, like, it's just too frustrating. Not even frustrating, because you're not frustrated, you're just annoyed. It's like, god damn it. Myst. There's a point-and-click thing. It's not really my kind of genre, but this is probably one of the better point-and-click games, because it is kind of interesting, but just not interesting enough to keep my attention. The pile moved a little bit. Oh, yeah. You can probably see the Chrono Trigger poster I got back there. It cost me like $10. Pretty good deal. Mysteria, The Realms of Lore. This is a strategy game, but it didn't really get my attention. I played it for a few minutes, and it just seemed off to me. I guess if you can't afford, like, Shining Force, then this one ain't too bad. It's not a bad game, but there's better. Like Shining Force. Pandemonium. I thought I was gonna like this game. Played it, didn't like it. Just boring. There's something about this game which did not get my attention one bit. Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. You know, for a Tetris clone, I actually did kind of like this. I'm god-awful at it, but I did kind of like it. I mean, I struggle in beginner mode. Like, that should tell you how god-awful I am when it comes to Tetris, so. It is pretty cool, though. It's weird, but cool. Shining the Holy Ark. You know, I've had this game for a while, but I keep forgetting to show it. And I didn't really like it, though, so. It's a dungeon crawler, but it's just so boring. The music was boring, the textures in the cave just made me fall asleep because it looked like I was looking at the same thing constantly. I mean, if you like it, that's cool, but I really don't. I mean, there's worse on the Saturn, believe me, but that isn't the best. Solar Eclipse. This game was alright. It kind of reminded me of Star Fox, just like more Star Trek-y involved, even though I've never seen Star Trek in my life. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really like it. Like, when I played this, it's like, I just felt like playing Star Fox 64. It's like, yeah, this game's alright, but man, Star Fox. I'll admit, sometimes I buy a game because I know it's god-awful, and I just want to try how bad it is, and this is a perfect example. Virtual Hide-Lide. Damn, this game is awful. But you know what the funny part is? It's awful because of the frame rates. It's so terrible. It's only like half speed. If it wasn't for that, it actually wouldn't be too bad, honestly, but it is what it is, and it's crap. I mean, I gotta keep talking about this game. The guy looks like he's wearing tinfoil armor, he's running like he's got a crap in his pants, you're fighting trees that look like broccoli. It's so terrible, you laugh playing it. It's terrible, but I love it. That's 10 minutes or close to it. Part 2. What a surprise.